Okay, today we are back at the Autobot Arc and we're going to be looking at Transformers Combiner Wars Cyclonus. Love this guy, love the color. Let me just say that right now, through the viewfinder, this color you are seeing, unless it's different on the computer, is not even close to his color. He is this color of purple. This right here in the viewfinder that I'm looking at, he looks kind of like a bluish purple. He is not. If you have ever had a purple Crayola crayon, that is the color he is. Very, very, very purple. If you look at him compared to his other counterpart from G1, you can see this purple close up. That is purple, but he is even more purple than that. He is almost this color purple, and why it's not showing up in the viewfinder. There you go. Now you can see him. Maybe it's because it's contrasting the colors. There, it kind of went away again. But he is fantastic. I love the color of this guy. Again, for as all the rest of Combiner Wars, he comes in this black Combiner War box, kind of the darker colors, more of the collector looking, and even all of their the artwork is a little more sinister looking than some of the stuff that's meant for kids. This is definitely meant for more for the collectors. I really like the artwork and the packaging that's been going into these. Here you see him as Galvatronus. I think he looks a lot more like just Galvatron, but whatever. Call him Galvatronus because he forms. So we'll go through that view a little bit later. Okay, here you have on the back, you have him shooting his gun. It's the exact same gun that comes with Superion and a Silverbolt. So there's really no difference there. And here he is in his ship. And let me just say, it is such a good ship. He looks so much different than Silverbolt for the same mold. All right. So let's get what we want to see and let's take him out of the package. Alright, so again, package is normal. You can see there's an instruction booklet in there. We really don't care about that. Let me take him out right now. He shows a little more purple there. So again, you have the Cyclonus card. You can see through the back. You don't need to see it. Again, same beef as always. Put some specs on the back. Quit giving us just a card with the same artwork that's on the front of the package. I don't need to see the Autobot or the Decepticon logo. I want some specs. Okay, so here he is in all of his glory out of the box. Let's go down just a little bit. So again, he is looking completely blue to me, but he is not. He is purple. Okay, so when you want to have him in his actual robot mode, straight out of the box, there are a few little changes you have to make. First of all, bend the wings back. And let me say, the only issue I got is these guys, they fall off. I swear I don't even touch them and they fall off. So bend both the wings back like that. And then his feet, you can see his foot right here. You can move this piece out. Give him some better stability. And that is Cyclonus. Let me move this down a little bit. In all of his glory, and he looks great. Now in terms of the weapon he's given, again, it comes into two pieces. You can hold these two little blasters. They go together for his combined weapon. It is no different than Superion's. It is exactly the same, except one is silver, one is black. You can see no differences, no retooling, no different edges. It's exactly the same. So let's take a look at Cyclonus. What can he do? Well, first of all, this guy has got ratchet joints up the yin-yang. He is so solid of a figure, you can put him in pretty much any pose you want. Head sculpt is fantastic. Look at that. It just looks mean. He looks pissed, like he is ready to fight anybody that gets in his or Galvatron's way. Fantastic. He's got this great little paint app right there for the Decepticons, a little bit of gold in the center of him. He's got some Decepticon paint apps on both sides. Oops, sorry, just one side. And he's got some red down here, which will actually be the front of Galvatronus. Except for that and some of the silver right back here, he doesn't have that many of a paint apps. But you know what? He doesn't really need it because he's got all these different colors. Now, one thing I will say is he has bright silver hands and a bright silver chest. However, this piece, oh, and this is bright silver as well. However, this arm joint here And these joints here and here, they are also a darker silver, which is interesting. Okay, so this is bright silver, this is dark silver, and I just turn the light on a little more so you can see the reflection. You can see there, it's just a little much. I'll turn that back down. So this guy again is great. I moved his foot back in. Okay, so let's take a look and see what he can do. Shoulders. Hear that ratchet? It is ridiculously tight. He can hold any position there. Shoulder can come all the way out. Ratchet there again. He has a swivel right here, and he has a very tight joint. It looks like it should ratchet right in there. You can see some ratchet little grooves, but it's not. It's just really tight. So that's pretty cool. He can pretty much do anything you want with his hand. Head. We already looked at the head, but yes, he can move back and forth. He cannot really move up and down. You can move this whole thing in a little bit, the plate he's on, if you want, to make him look like he's looking up a little bit, but it really has two positions, so it doesn't really work all that well. Waist. Cannot move his waist, but in terms of his legs, ratchet again for the socket there. You can swivel the leg here where he has his knee. Again, he can move that quite well. And for ankle, he can move back and forth, but not sideways. So this guy has some pretty good posability in him. And he is fun to pose because he just looks menacing. He looks like he's ready to kick some butt. All right, so let's take a look at the plane. Actually, you know what? Let's put him right there. And then let's get Superion. Take him apart quick. Okay. So here we have the top half for Superion. Let's go ahead and transform him, and then we can see how what the differences are in between the two. Now remember, the one thing that is different here is kind of the head sculpt. So this, if we're going to do this, it goes in, and this whole piece, come on, this whole piece is his head. Now what I said before, why it's kind of different, is a lot of times with the combiners, down here is the legs, up here is where the arms are going to go. Not so in this case. Take him, flip him upside down, okay? We're going to go ahead, and again, you can look at this guy here. Transform this, turn this. Now angle these down, angle these down, and then you put the hands behind, same as with him. You can see now we are looking very similar. And they do keep these little pieces here. Now these, we'll get to these in a little bit, but they are not molded in. They're actually just held and tabbed in, not even tabbed, they're a port. So, but let's go ahead and finish the transformation first. So we bring him down. And you can bring at the head, look at the head. So let's see the head sculpt right here. Looks pretty good. I mean, that is a great, great Galvatron head. It is pretty good. Big fan of it. So it can move back and forth. It cannot move up and down, but it is a fantastic sculpt. I'm a big fan of both of these head sculpts. Okay, so first of all, we don't need the feet. So you're going to move this piece out. Well, see, I mentioned that before. Hang on, let me go see where that went. Here we go. This piece is very, very important. It is going to tab in to hold him in both airplane and in Galvatronus form. Okay, so first of all, like I said, fold the feet in, and the feet go back in here. So fold that in there. Same thing with the other one. Fold it in, fold the whole thing back. Okay, so now you can kind of see what's going to take place, because if you move this here, you can see the front of his chest. Now, first of all, see this little symbol down here? Let's move him out of the way for now. This little symbol, you're going to pull this piece up. And remember, Galvatron normally has that little thing right here. It kind of looks like he's got like you know, a 6-pack at times. That's going to be there, and you're going to see here's the rest of it right here. So what's going to happen is this is going to come up right here. But let's get a good look. See this little tab right here? Oh, piece fell off again. There is a little tab right here where it's going to tab into. See it right here? So you move this in and just push, and there you go. Good as that. Same thing with this one. Turn it around so this piece is in the back. Move it like this, and then again you're going to just kind of move that back and forth because you can't see where it's tabbing. You just have to move it back and forth until you feel it tabs in, and you can see now it's nice and tight. Okay, so now you have the front of him. What you need to do now is take this piece, push it in, and it doesn't really peg into anything. See this little knots right here? It just kind of fits right in there. See how this kind of fits right there? And that holds it in. Same with this piece here. Bring that in. And then they do tab together right here. Push. And you have the stump of Galvatronus. And here is the stump here. So if you want to see what has been retooled, it is basically the entire front piece, the heads, the waist. These are new, but you do have the ports. So you do have the port in him, it's just not there. So obviously they were thinking ahead when they made these guys. So it's pretty much the same. Okay, now since we're pretty close to robot form, let's go back to the robot so I can compare them that way. Okay, so remember, robot, upside down. We're just going to do this kind of quick. In, pull that out, swivel it down, and it's the legs. So for both these, you want to push this back like that. Okay, this is his head. Pull it back up, push the plate back in, and then the head just kind of goes back in there. Kind of reminds me of Total Recall, that guy that had the little dude living inside of him. Okay, and last thing we need to do is bring out the feet. Oops. And yes, so one thing, you cannot bring out the feet with these things tabbed in like this. You have to pull them out first. Okay, and I'm not going to adjust the feet right now, because he will stand without them. Okay, so let me go ahead and change him. Again, it's the same thing. Out. Pull this guy in. Flip the whole thing around. That piece. Pull out the feet. Put that back. All right, so now we have Silverbolt. Bring his hands in. And pop out his head. And his head, you can see in Silverbolt, his head is different. It's an entire assembly right here, whereas Cyclonus goes in all by himself. This is a little different. You can pull this out and move this up. So that is a different part of the transformation. So you look at these two guys. Yes, if you look at them quite closely, you can tell that they are from the same sculpt. But man, there's a lot of retooling that's gone on, and it looks really good between the two of them. You know, they really look like two completely distinct and different figures. All right, so let's take a look at Cyclonus's, not airplane, but star fighter, I guess. Okay, so first thing you're going to do, go ahead, put his head back in, and now I already have his landing gear out, but there's a double hinge right here, so you kind of have to pull out, and then push in. Okay, go ahead and put his wings down. Again, I am missing one of his tail fins because this little guy never stays on. He pops off for no reason. What you're going to be looking to do now is I mentioned these before, these are in ports right here. Take off the fin. Put it off to the side. Take off the fin and put it off to the side. Okay, so you're going to flip his arms a little bit. There's a little tab right here. And there's a little insert right there. So you're going to tab, pull like that. Pull it like that. And you're going to tab it in both sides. So tab it in that, oops. Tab it in that one. Tab it in that one. Okay, so now you have one last thing. Again, these are the two little pieces I mentioned last time. Now you can barely see it, but there is a little port here on both sides. That is where this guy is going to go. So you want to move him out. So what are you going to do now? If he stands like this, oh, let's put the feet back in first. Gotta move that out, feet in. Okay, so now you're going to want to rotate like this, move this here, and sometimes, you know, I probably should have done it differently. So it's easier to get the wing out of the way. Now this whole section is going to rotate in, and it's like before. You can't see where it's tabbing. Just play around till it fits in. Same thing here. Rotate around. And then just kind of wiggle it. There it goes. Until you feel it go in. Wings back down. Arms in. Arms in the tab. And you can see that arms fit really nice right in there. It really just kind of hides everything. And then same thing with this one. Oops, it was turned the wrong way. Okay, now the one thing that is different on Silverbolt that you will not have to on him, but you will on this guy, fold these little guys up, and then you still have these two guys. What do you do with these guys? Anybody know what you're going to do with them? What you're going to do is you're going to take the hand port and put them in like this. Now, in the picture, it shows them like that. I am not a fan of it like that. I don't like it. Let's see if we can show you the picture. Yeah. So here's the picture that they have. You can see they have that at an angle. It is not straight out, and I do not like the look. I'm not sure if that is bad for the picture or what, but I like them straight like this. You can put them in pretty tight too. And if you go like this, in this direction, which looks a little weird, you can go in all the way. But I think it looks better like this. So, just put the landing gear down. Keep them all. There you go. So this is Cyclonus in the starship. So let's go ahead and transform him quick. I almost wish I had like multiple guys here. So it's kind of the same thing with this guy. Feet in, rotate around, and just kind of push that till it fits in. Same thing with this guy. Okay, so now we have him. Let's go ahead and alright, I'm not going to worry with the hands all that much here. We'll just kind of move them to where they should be. Okay, so now let's take a look at the two of these guys together. So they're both sleek aircraft up front, but their body looks quite different. He has this huge tail fin in the back, and he does not. Yet he has these little fins on the side, kind of a little bit of a fin right here, and he's got these little fins back here as well. And then not only that, but the complete shape of their main wings is completely different. You can see here, Silverbolts are angled backwards, whereas Cyclonuses are angled forward in a much more in-your-face look, like he is coming at you. I'm not sure if it's really a better aerodynamic that way, but It is very, very different between the two of them. So you can see how different they look. Color scheme on the same guy, but this time the retool is well worth it. So if we look at the top, the entire top is different. There is nothing about this top that is the same as this top. Every single piece has been retooled. Every single piece. There are some slight similarities where you see this little thruster here and here are the same. However, if you can see right here, there's these little grooves right here for the air intake. Don't go all the way to the edge of this. They are much more pronounced here. Again, this piece is all different because it has this other piece attached to it. It's just great. There's a little groove right here in this one, whereas here it's much longer and different. Anyway, so let's take a look at the paint apps. Again, I can only say it so many times. This is well worth it. Not a lot of paint apps, but it doesn't need it because they did a great job of using different colors of plastic for different parts. So on this is painted, and this is something I really like because this piece is different than this. You have dark purple, dark purple, dark, and then purple, which really goes back and forth. It really shows some distinction. But remember, this is just a different piece right here. See, I can move that a little bit. Again, you have a little silver here where he's moved. They probably could have done this piece in the same purple as the rest of it. Not really sure why they didn't, but that is the way that it is. Okay, so this is Cyclonus. Purple nose cone. He's got the silver here. Again, some of this more dark kind of metallic purple. He's got the golden yellow for the inside of the cockpit. And you see a fair amount of the kibble and stuff underneath. I mean, you can see where he transforms them underneath, but that's no different than Silverbolt. Silverbolt looks exactly the same. Again, remember, I didn't put them all in, but it looks pretty much the same. So that is Silverbolt in all of his glory. Oh, and one more thing. This right here has this nice little groove there. Come on. Same thing here. Massive gun can go underneath. That looks pretty good. I don't think that goes there. But yeah, I mean, you can put the whole thing together underneath here like this. And there's also other places as well. But he looks great. Nothing bad to say about this guy. I've been waiting for another good Cyclonus since the Target Master came out. And I don't know, whatever that was, 2011 or 2012. Great figure. Thanks.